Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to be trying out two products from Physicians Formula's Natural Defense makeup line. For the Physicians Formula Natural Defense Foundation, let's read the claims on this. A lightweight sheer to light foundation that blurs, protects, and perfects with our exclusive complex for a smooth, flawless complexion. This miracle blurring formula features our 360 Total Defense Complex to defend against harmful sun rays, blue light, and pollution, helping to reduce the signs of aging, uneven skin texture, dullness, and imperfections. Has SPF 30, blue light defense, pollution defense, remove and gently shake before use. Okay, so I also did pick up the concealer. They're both in the shade Fair. This is like, what's funny is this one is sheer, and then this one is medium to full. Coverage concealer, blurs and perfects, exclusive complex, unique cushion tip for easy targeted application, all the same defenses. Yeah, so I wonder really what the super difference is between these. Like, is it the same thing, just packaged differently? So that you spend more money. Alright, so I did go ahead and prime my face with my Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Spray, my e.l.f. Illuminating Moisturizer, and I went in on one side of the face with my Hard Candy Smoothing Primer Balm to see if there's any difference, because sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. And also, just a quick note, oh my gosh, this is so good. I got the Stoke Not Too Sweet in the red with a little bit of vanilla creamer and ice. Tastes like a flippin' milkshake. It tastes like a melted milkshake. It's delicious. I can't handle it. I tried it. Oh, it's so good. I tried it before with the chocolatey one in vanilla creamer. That was too much. It was too sweet. Also, forgive my eyebrows. I'm trying to figure out, now that my hair is dyed, as you can see, am I supposed to take my eyebrows that same route, or do I leave my eyebrows blonde? So I had this LA Girl, the Shady Slim Brow in taupe, and honestly I always felt like this was really orange, so I put that in my brow along with some blonde to try to, I don't know if it's working or not. The other day I tried it and I had my brows way too dark, so I tried a different route today. Alright, so let's get out this foundation. So it is 1 fluid ounce standard. Again, this is the shade, my goodness, this is the shade Fair. It looks potentially a little yellow. Okay, definitely sheer. So let's go ahead and put it on this side of the face. And I am going to begin by blending it out with my NYX professional makeup brush, whatever this one is, like their foundation brush. I'm gonna take just a smidge on my brush and put it more to my cheek where I want the targeted coverage, and let's blend this out. Okay, so here's one side covered. That is sheer. Okay, I hate my hair behind my ears, but we're just gonna have to do it. So that definitely is sheer, but you can see that it did cover the redness on my cheek. Let me put a little bit more on my chin. It didn't completely cover up here, like this little spot, but it definitely calmed it. All right, let's go ahead and do the other side where the primer is and see if that makes any difference. Okay, I definitely like the side with the primer better. I'm going to take my e.l.f. sponge and I'm just going to lightly spray it and tap this in, because it does look a little bit rough in between my eyebrows, but there's a potential, there's a possibility that I maybe put too much product there for when I blended it out. So let me just go ahead and kind of, oh yeah, that worked. Let me just stamp this in all over. Okay, that does not look bad. It's definitely sheer. Okay, I'm gonna have to put my hair up because this daggum, it's too hot to not have the fan, but it's blowing my hair everywhere. Okay, so let's try building it up now on my nose. That'll be interesting. So it's not bad, but it's not the best my nose has ever looked. But it's not bad. It definitely did cling to any dry patches that I have, for sure. My cheek looks nice. Yeah. My chin is still a little bit red, but I'm going to try to build that up with some of this concealer. So that's not the right lid. Alright, let's break out this concealer here. This concealer also has sunscreen in it. So do you just squeeze? Do you twist? What do I do here? Oh, maybe there's like a cap on it? Oh, okay, so if you get this, you have to twist this. And then I think squeeze. Yeah, here we go. That's nice for travel. Okay, so here's some. I'm going to swatch it. Actually, let's compare since they're both fair. Okay, so just in swatching, here is the foundation, here is the concealer, both in the shade Fair. You definitely can already tell that the concealer, like it claims, is much more full coverage than the foundation. Like, look how sheer this is blended out compared to the concealer. Okay, so maybe that's good though. Maybe like with the foundation, you can get it all over application, and then you can go in with the concealer and have a little bit more targeted coverage in the same shade. I don't know if all the shades compare as well as Fair to Fair. Like, I don't know if they're all comparable. So let's go in. So the reason I'm doing my concealer like this, I was watching Sabrina, and she had watched a video by, I can't remember his name. I'll put like the icon for her video here, or the thumbnail, I mean. And he was talking about how we, like, especially on like YouTube and Instagram, we put so much like the triangle or bring the concealer all the way down where then you have nowhere to blend it. And so by doing it this way, it allows you to have more targeted coverage where you need, but be able to also blend it out. So I'm going to use this side of my multitasking brush, the RT Go. I'm going to use this little bottom side to start blending that in. So you can obviously tell, okay, now that we're blending it out more, it's not so bad. Okay, so I still can see a little bit of purple, so let's target right there and just put a little dot and try to blend that out. So now I'm going to take the concealer and I'm going to dot just a little there, a little down my nose, a little on my chin, and a little on my cheeks. This may be a disaster. We will find out. %, I like this side with the pore filling primer better. The added concealer on top, oh, let me put a little bit right here. Just a smidge. The concealer added on top of the foundation did add a little bit of coverage. It's hard to explain. Like, it added coverage, but I don't know if I like that. The corners of my eyes look a little dry. I don't know. This is one that I wonder how it will do. Okay, let's click that down. Put that on. This is one that I wonder if it, like, after a little bit of time, it'll kind of melt into the skin a little bit. But that's interesting that the coverage of the foundation is sheer, but the coverage of the concealer is medium to buildable. Yeah, because this says total coverage and this says sheer line of defense. So that's interesting to me. You would think that they, like, if you're going for a sheer foundation, you'd want sheer coverage. But again, it might be get it all over application with this and then go in with this for a more, you know, direct concealing or whatever. What I said earlier, that was more poignant and sounded better. Let's set the face. Actually, I'm just going to set my under eyes, and then I'm going to go in and do the rest of my makeup. So under my eyes, I'm going to set with my number 7 powder. That is so good. My mouth is actually watering right now. Melted milkshake. I'm not even kidding. Okay, so let's set the under eyes. So now I want to contour. And I was watching the same guy who Sabrina was watching for her tutorial, and he was talking about how people use a bronzer for a contour shade, but contour is meant to be cool to create the shadow. So I had this in my collection, and I have not used it in quite some time. The Maybelline Master Contour by Face Studio. So it has contour on one side, highlight on the other. So I have been using this to contour the past couple days, and I really like it. I don't really use the highlighting side, but I like this shade for contour. So I just go in with that, and then when I washed my brushes, I only had this Casualty. I need to get another one of these. This is the e.l.f. foundation blurring brush. I had a little bit of a Casualty with this brush. It's the only one. It's the only one, because it was when I was trying to pull it back out of the little holder that goes into the part that spins, it broke. So, do I want to go in with I think I do. I think I want to use a cream blush today. I think we'll go ahead and go in with the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Blush Elixir. This is in the shade Gorgeous Peach. So I pump it onto the back of my hand, shear it out, and then I'll take a sponge, tap it in, and then go onto the cheek. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and set my face with some e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. It honestly doesn't feel tacky, actually. Let me just put a little around my forehead, which again though, that's why I'm going in with such like a fluffy brush and really tapping off the excess, because I don't need a lot. Okay. So this is actually a great excuse. Let me grab a next product. Believe it or not, I have never used the traditional original bronzer from Physicians Formula. So we're going to whip this puppy out today for bronzer. This is in the old packaging. Has anybody else seen that they have repackaged this stuff? Alright, let's give it a whiff. Oh yeah. Going in with this pointed powder brush from e.l.f. and going to bronze. Then I'm going to take a more focused brush. I'm going to put a little bit of that under my lower lip and blend it out with a sponge to create that shadow to make my lip look fuller. And I am going to take just a little bit down the sides of my nose, and again blend that with my sponge. That smells so good. Okay, what next? Highlighter. Do I have any Physicians Formula highlighter? Physicians. Oh, yeah. Okay, so for highlighter, we're going to use my Warm Nudes palette. I'm going to go across and get these 3 shades up here. And highlight. Alright, so there's highlight. So then I am going to go over top of all this with my Milani Make It Last, because we are going to actually have to leave the house today. and go to Lowe's eventually. So I'll probably take you along with me for that so we can see how this makeup is holding up. For eyes, I'm just going to do something simple. I'm going to take some eyeshadow primer. I'm going to use my AOA Studio Perfect Eyeshadow Primer in the shade Nude. And this is just really to cancel out my redness. This is looking really nice. I really like that bronzer on my nose, creating that shadow and under my lip. Alright, let me throw something together here real quick. Okay, so for my eyes, I primed and then I set with Brulee. And then I just used my butter bronzer in the crease and then I put it on the outer corner. Well, then I tried to use this highlighter, but it just wasn't working for me. So I broke out my Profusion palette Emeralds. This is gorgeous. I have been playing with this non-stop. This green I'm particularly in love with. So I ended up going in with this shade Gilded. And then all over the lid. And then I went in with this shade Russet, kind of in the outer corner. And the only issue is this is very warm and the butter bronzer is very cool tone. But it's alright. I'll survive. And then for mascara, my Essence Volume Stylist. This is literally my favorite mascara ever. Alright, so, oh, let's do lips, duh. Alright, so here is the finished look. Let me grab my mirror. It does look a little rough right there, but I think that will definitely look better as time goes on and the product has a little bit of time to kind of melt into the skin. My chin looks really nice. My cheeks look really nice. Definitely like this side with the pore filling primer. Really interesting the difference between the coverage on the two products. But let me see what time it is. Okay, it is currently 10:30 a.m. So our check-in time will be about 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. Yeah, and I'm going to do something else with my hair. I was just trying to make it look a little bit nice for this part right here. But so far, here is what we're working with. Oh, and lips, I just threw on my Neutrogena Moisture Smooth Color Stick in Classic Nude. I'm impressed. That blush is sitting really nice on top of it. So anyway, I will check back in with you a little later. So it's currently 5:03. Here's what my face looks like. Now, I did just go into a store where I wore a mask, so it did wear off a little bit. Let me look up here in the mirror. Okay, it's looking a little crusty. Oh, yeah, you can see that on my chin. My concealer actually looks really nice. I think so far the consensus is I like the concealer more than I do the foundation for sure. Like, definitely my under eyes look brightened. Yeah, but anyway, so here's what I look like. But yeah, I'm liking the concealer so far more than the foundation. Alright, so wrapping up this wear test on the Physicians Formula Natural Defense Foundation and the concealer. So what happened is, I totally forgot I was doing a wear test the other day, and after I got the kids bath, got them down for bed, I jumped straight in the shower, and as soon as I put the face wash on, I thought, oh, I forgot to wrap up the video. But I did look at my face before I got in the shower, and I felt like this foundation wore very well. I definitely prefer it with the pore minimizing primer. Now, I went ahead and I put it on again today, and I have to say, I think it looks really nice. If you're wondering about everything on my face, I'll link that video for you up here. I think it looks really nice. The concealer is definitely my favorite out of the two products. This doesn't look bad by any means. It's just, I prefer this one, maybe because it is more of a buildable coverage, but this one isn't bad either. Like, for this being a sheer foundation, I feel like my skin looks really, really nice today. So for me, this is not a pass. It's more about like what you want in your foundation. The concealer, I really, really like. I don't know if I've ever had a concealer that has SPF in it, or at least I've never taken the time to notice it. So for me, these are interesting. I'm going to keep playing with them, and I will let you know what I think in the description box below. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you will like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.